We have a business venture.
We have a new business venture. I don't even know.
We're taking investors
now. How
now.
the fuck did we get even started on it? I can't remember. Had something.
Gamer girl bathwater.
Yeah, we were talking about the gamer girl bathwater fiasco. Was it this year or was that last year? I don't even fucking know.
I don't
even fucking know. So we were talking about the gamer girl bathwater, and I was like, yo, Sushi, what if we did gamer girl panties? But it's not what you're thinking. Like, oh man, these are cute. They would look cute on a gamer girl. No, we're not talking about selling actual like gamer prints. We're talking like, man, I'm going to stream in this, but you're not going to know it because you can't see the bottom lower half of my body. And then I'm going to sell that because streamers don't have legs. And I'm going to sell that on the internet for money, right? And so I was thinking, man, can you imagine just having like an entire shop where you just go through and you like pick shit to put it in your cart, right? But like I told Sushi, what if the item description was literally like, hey, wore these during a 24-hour stream? So I'm in her chat and I ask, yo, who wants to buy?
This absolutely happened.
Who wants to buy? And you can check my Twitter too. Who wants to buy my 24-hour stream panties? And my idiot ass puts this shit on Twitter. I put this shit on Twitter and I was like, oh man, this is hilarious. I got him. in my dumbass way. I was even like, yo, AJ, check Twitter.
Oh my God.
Check Twitter. He was like, what the fuck did you do now? So he goes, he checks Twitter, and I'm all like, I'm just fucking idiot smiling and like, this is fucking hilarious. And then
what happened?
I didn't know that you could activate Sugar Daddy Twitter so fast.
Was it like the Beehive? Like, was it like Beyonce fans? And they were like, we're on it.
Got so...
She literally threw chum into the water. I'm like, why are there sharks? Well, before we jump into our stories, I wanted to read some of our comments here on YouTube here.
Yeah.
So you guys remember we had on episode 20 we had some listener submissions, and we have a comment from Anto, who was the one who submitted the relationship story.
Hi, Anto.
So hey, Anto. We wanted to give him a little shout out here and read his comment. Said, hey guys, thanks for reading it out and offering advice. It really means a lot to me. You guys are truly the best podcast, which awesome. I love hearing that. Makes me feel good. You can't see Sushi's face right now, but she's making that like victory hooray thing with her arms, and she got a big old grin on her face. And then says, and yeah, funny that you mentioned the financial abuse. It wasn't just her. When I got the new job, the pastor at the church reached out to me and told me I should quit because, quote, there's a possibility of working overtime on the weekends, and God wouldn't want you to do that. So...
yeah, God doesn't want me to pay my rent.
Yeah,
that's right.
God wants you to live on the street and be a bum.
God wants you to not eat food. What?
Yeah.
So, but you know, like if you guys didn't hear that story, definitely go back and listen to episode 20. It was in the relationships section. This was Anto's submission for the relationships. We talked about that for quite a while. Actually, that's one of our longest like relationships that we talked about. We went pretty deep with that. But yeah, thanks for the comment, Anto. And you know, we're glad you enjoyed the podcast, man. That means a lot. Yeah. And then also we do have this fucking piece of shit Bonnie over here. Him and I were kind of beefing back and forth on the Twitter comments as he left a comment here on the Skyrim proposal one with
I knew you would really like that one.
Yeah. So if you guys, this is from the minisode involving the guy who used the amulet of Mara to propose to his girlfriend, wouldn't get her a ring. And Bonnie Dimple says, actually, a true Elder Scrolls fan would have proposed down on one knee with an arrow jammed in it, under the light of the blessed Almsivi. Not only did he fuck up his relationship, but he's a fake gamer too. So then I replied, and I was like, excuse me, but Almsivi? would be referencing the tribunal and therefore Morrowind and not Skyrim. So I think you need to check your facts, sir. And then he said, bruh, in the context of Skyrim, I was clearly referring to the reclamations which took the mantles of Almseby and are still worshipped by the Dunmer people, as evidenced by the Dunmer ghettos in Windhelm learned to lore.
So first of all, I love Morrowind, but I hate it here. I hate both of you.
I've been telling you to add these fucking accounts to your guys' shit for so long, and if you don't, this is what happens. I end up responding, and we go down this fucking rabbit hole of fucking Elder Scrolls bullshit, all right? So add those in there.
No, I need
that
to
way
put
you
it in
guys
my
can
phone.
add in your little bit of spice, you know, like fucking Bonnie can
I hate
reply,
both of you.
and
That's
then
my
Sam
spice.
can
I
be
fucking
like,
hate both of you. Bonnie, I take it back. I hate you too.
yeah. And Sam can be like, you want to buy my stream panties? Or whatever, you know, whatever
Wow.
Sam's always trying to sell, you know.
Yeah.
But do you? We're trying to make some money,
Yeah.
okay? Do you want to invest
Bills
in
gotta
Sam
be
and I's
paid.
idea?
All right.
AJ,
So-
I just don't understand why you never buy my panties. My dog's gotta eat.
That is the weirdest circle jerk I've ever heard of. That's worse than just all of us just subbing to each other. We're just circulating the same 250.
Yeah.
Circling the same 250, but ultimately all losing out on the money
Yeah.
because then Twitch gets the other half of that, so they get the full
Right.
750 from it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know, we're still losing in this situation, but here we are, supporting each other.
But thank you guys both for the comments. If you guys are listening on, to those of you listening on it's like Spotify and iTunes, you know, we appreciate the fuck out of you. Definitely, you know, keep listening on those platforms. Nobody's like, we're not trying to force anybody to go over anywhere they don't want to go to. Listen to whatever you want to listen to.
I am. Speak for yourself.
But, you know, if for those of you, if you do want to leave a comment, we do post these on YouTube too. So you guys can leave comments there, or you can just follow us on Twitter and leave a comment there, EHS podcast, or hit us up on email at contact@everyonesuckshere.com. So that being said, we've got some good assholes. I gotta, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to.
Icy?
Yeah, mine's pretty different. It's different than what we normally have. It's so I want to bring it up and, you know, get everything going with this. If you don't mind, if I go first here. So.
Right ahead.
Alrighty. So mine, I pulled this from a special place.
Special place in my asshole.
Yeah.
It's my asshole pocket.
Is it from the dark web, AJ?
It's from the darkest part of the web. And I actually kind of mean that. And by that, I mean Facebook.
Okay, fair.
So
Facebook? You went on Facebook?
listen,
Yikes.
I'm scouring the goddamn gutters.
Wow.
The dank, dark, deep dumpsters of the internet for these stories,
are.
okay?
You are.
So, you know, hopefully you guys appreciate the fact that I had to sift through like minion after minion after minion meme just to get to this fucking Am I the Asshole here. Alrighty. And it says, am I the asshole for canceling a long-awaited lunch with a good friend because at the last minute she asked if she could bring her daughter?
What the hell?
Yeah, so something different here. Also kind of reminded me of Sushie because she's always talking about how much she hates kids. So,
It's true.
I guess
It's
that
true.
depends
That's a
on how old the
recurring thing
kid
with
is.
me.
so that's why I was curious what this is going to turn into once
Okay.
I read it. So this is one of those friends I only see once or twice a year if I'm lucky. Everyone who knows me knows I am not a kid person. Which, something about that just seems funny to me because, like, even though I know that Sushi's not a kid person, somehow like this comes off as very like proud of it, you know, like that kind of like everybody knows that I hate kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just fucking Karen,
Sushi.
Rebecca,
Oh.
Sushi. Yeah.
AJ, did you find my burner Reddit account
Yes.
On Facebook?
Yes.
on Facebook? Because fuck you, I was hiding that. Thank you.
This is the account she goes under, the secret name Rebecca Chalmers.
That's me.
I love how like my brain was trying to think of a name, and then I realized I can't say Chambers because Rebecca Chambers is an actual Resident Evil character. So I was like, let me just switch it to a Chalmers.
Actual idiot. You're so bad at naming shit.
So anyway, said I don't have kids. I am that friend who likes to get tipsy and use bad words or talk about sex.
Oh man, look at me. I'm so edgy and cool.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God. I like to get drunk and curse.
Yeah. I love to just get drunk and to use bad words and talk about taking some dick.
I totally don't know how to act in public at a fucking lunch table.
Exactly. Like, you know, I'm out here in public with my friend and all I want to do is talk about fucking and cuss words. I love talking about the word fuck. Not about saying it. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the word shit. I want to talk about these words. Tell me the etymology of these words.
Oh my God.
If I come to your home, I'll get on the floor and play with your kids. Well, because I know I can ultimately get away, but for the most part, I avoid kids.
What does that even fucking mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
Like, I can outrun them, so like I.
Maybe it means like give them back.
I hate kids, but if I come to your house and there's a kid there, I'll totally play with it. It's like, I hate pets, but if you have a cat, I'll totally play with it at your house. What does that fucking mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why this one. That's literally why I picked this one because it kind of jumps back and forth all over the place.
Christ.
But yeah, I can ultimately because I avoid kids. It's just me. So I'm doing my hair, getting ready to meet my friend for lunch, and she texts me that her 17-year-old daughter wants to go. This child is very sweet, but she's got some behavioral issues that make her very whiny and needy. To be honest, this child drives me nuts. You can't be like, this child is very sweet. This child drives me nuts. All right. Her whining goes right through my ears to my spinal cord, and she's old enough to stay home by herself. At first, I was like, I kind of wanted to. Sorry. At first, I was like, I kind of wanted it to be just the two of us having adult time. I was hoping we could sip on some wine on the patio and catch up. She said, quote, okay, but I knew she was upset. I said, is it okay? Is your daughter upset? She said yes. She's crying right now. And then she puts in parentheses, of course she was crying. So I just said, let's do it another time, which I will find it a little weird. I find it a little weird that 17-year-old was crying about this.
But I mean, she's already said she has some behavioral issues.
Yeah.
So already I'm upset because she's like, she's old enough to stay home by herself. But you know she has some issues.
But hold on. There's more to it.
Okay.
So, about an hour later, she and her daughter were heading out to lunch, and she texted me saying, are you sure you don't want to join us? In my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure the plans were with me in the first place, so I'm not joining anything. Oh my God. But I politely declined. It was so odd. I still don't understand why she put me in that situation. I'd rather have a root canal than listen to her teenager dominate our entire lunch. We haven't really spoken since. I'm okay with it, but I'm sure she thinks I'm an asshole. Thanks everyone for your thoughtful insight. To answer a couple of questions that popped up. This 17-year-old is not on the spectrum. She has some developmental delays. She goes to school, she runs track, she's functional, just immature for her age. I've spent a lot of time with her. It's very difficult to be around her. And then she said, also, I know my descriptions were probably a little harsh. I have no filter, which... every time somebody talks about, like, I don't have a filter.
You're just rooting, you're an asshole.
I'm so edgy. Yeah. Look at me. I love talking about fucking
and cuss words.
And
like,
man,
where are they going for lunch that a 17-year-old can't go and you get drunk? Like, go to the garden and shut up. Drink your fucking Pinot Grigio. Why do you need to go out and get drunk?
Here's the thing. Like... And don't ask fucking people who you don't like to be around their kids. Like, don't ask them to go to lunch. Like, their kid is their fucking family, their child. Like, they're taking care of this thing now. Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Like,
big of a deal. As someone who doesn't enjoy children, if it was the same situation, they're 17 and you really want to have like a glass or two of wine with your lunch, it's not that big of a deal. Well, it's not like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, and the thing is, she acts like this 17-year-old girl who knows what is potentially wrong with her, because she said, while she's like, oh, she's not on the spectrum, like that means anything. Like, okay, but you said she has developmental issues, so you're completely acting like just because, oh, well, she's got some slight developmental issues, so like I don't see why she can't just keep her mouth shut. Like, but maybe because she's got developmental issues, you know, like she's just like overshadowing that like it's no big deal, but at the same time, like, that makes you an asshole. Like this person is literally saying, hey, yeah, I can get lunch with you, but do you mind if I bring my daughter? Because obviously there's a reason why, if her daughter is crying, there's a reason why her daughter, a 17-year-old girl would be crying to not go to lunch, because she has those developmental issues. Who knows how old she is mentally? Just because she runs track and stuff.
Six, as do I.
Yeah. Like it doesn't just be you can't just suddenly excuse somebody who wording this weird, but you can't just suddenly pretend that somebody's totally they're totally normal just because they go to school and run track too. Wow, believe it or not, people who have development issues or on the spectrum or have any sort of mental illness or anything, they also can do extracurricular activities. It's not that. That's not because they do this, why can't they just stay home? Because, man, it's her daughter. There's a reason she asked to bring her.
If I were this other woman, I would literally never go to lunch with this insufferable person ever again.
Right. It's not that big of a deal. I understand if it's a baby and it's crying and it needs that one-on-one attention. And it's just distracting to try to talk to your friend while they're, they have to take care of it and change its diaper and feed it and all that. It's 17. Oh my God, she's 17 years old. It's not, that's your friend. That's that's an adult at this point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can hold a conversation with a 17-year-old. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And even if they're a little developmentally challenged, it's one of those things, I doubt that, she's going to be, constantly fucking monopolizing the conversation or whatever.
It's literally because you wanted to go to lunch and talk about fucking and wanted to be your edgy self. And somebody said...
It's inappropriate.
Yeah, somebody said, I'd really like to bring my daughter because she's kind of fucking hungry. Gotta eat,
This situation sucks.
There is a total difference between, liking kids not liking kids and being an insufferable ass person.
Just
because I don't like children doesn't mean that I think I said children. Did I say children?
All right.
Did I say children?
Georgia on, girl.
Just because I myself don't like children doesn't mean that if my friend has a kid that I'm gonna be this insufferable person. I have a problem. Don't even.
That's what the person.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
So because they just look insufferable.
Yeah. So no.
I'm saying asshole here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah.
Really the asshole, selfish asshole. Yikes.
Do you want to know what really, really did it in for me? She said. She texts me and says, "Are you sure you don't want to join us?" In my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure the plans were with me in the first place. I'm not joining anything. That's just a passive aggressive, knockdown. You know what I mean? That's, I'm upset about this. And
that's also a power thing. I have to be in control of this situation.
I was going to say it as soon as you said it, AJ. It's absolutely true. It's control,
You are completely the asshole. And I noticed at the end, she says, "I don't talk about her kid like that to anyone. This is a private group." And she's on it, and she's not on it to it felt appropriate to be a little descriptive for the content. I have no filter. I don't talk about her kid like that to anyone, except you did to a bunch of fucking people,
to a bunch of strangers on the internet,
of strangers on the internet, which means, and you've already said I don't have a filter. And I'm super edgy, and I like to cuss. I like to cuss too, and I do it at inopportune times.
There's a difference,
but there's a fuking difference, dude.
Yeah, people who say I don't have a filter literally just mean I don't have any fucking empathy, or they just mean
they literally say I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you're literally saying I'm an asshole.
I'm an asshole, and you just have to love me. I'm a lovable asshole. No, you're not. You're just a fucking asshole.
Yeah. It's newsflash, it's very rare to be a lovable asshole. Most of the time, you're just a fucking asshole.
You're just an asshole.
No one likes you.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, the way she spoke was so fucking insufferable. And very entitled. Yep. And that's, and somebody who's I want to talk about adult things like fucking cuss words and sex.
But you know what? The thing is too, she even said, this is a friend I only get to see once or twice a year if I'm lucky. Cool. Now you get to see her with her daughter.
Yeah.
So.
Or never. And she's not going to miss
you.
Or
fucking never.
This daughter is 17. So you know that this girl's been around for 17 years.
Yeah.
You're You know, the audacity.
That this mother still wants to even entertain this weird friendship.
I hope not, because she deserves way better. And honestly, like, I would have fucking dumped this woman as a friend a long-ass time ago.
Long time ago.
I mean, there's a difference between going, you know, I was really hoping this would be, you know, just adult time or whatever. But, like, the fact that she has to add in all this other extra shit for the reason is, you know...
She keeps harping on about it.
Yeah, she keeps harping on about it.
It's like, you know, you can make your point, like, you know, I was hoping we could just hang out together. Or even, as opposed to saying, I was hoping, you can literally say, like, hey, you know, do you mind if maybe we just hang out together? Is there any possibility? Make it known, you know, like, because again, I feel like when you say something like, yeah, when you say things like, oh, I was really hoping it would just be, again, it's kind of that passive aggressive bullshit. Just say what you want. And if that doesn't happen, then okay, but at least you made what you wanted known, and you can do it in a non-asshole way. Like, hey, do you not mind if it's just the two of us? Because I was really hoping that we could just hang out. Yeah. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to Fridays and get some buffalo wings with your daughter. But next time, do you mind if it's just us? I want some girl alone time.
Yeah, there's so many solutions here.
Yeah.
But
like, you don't have to like keep harping on it like, no, but you don't understand. I know it sounds like I'm an asshole, but like, you don't get it. It's so much more serious.
But also,
you are just the asshole.
Also the part where she's like, everyone knows I'm not a kid person. But this person either didn't know that because you've not said anything to begin with, or like it's obviously not well known enough that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, and then like what really drives it home for me too is the fact that she made a statement saying, I'd rather have a root canal than listen to her teenager dominate our entire lunch. And I'm like, why are you getting so harsh with
so
this?
Personal about this.
Yeah, like she's getting so like aggressive, you know, like I'd rather have a root canal than listen to that bitch.
I mean,
like,
why don't you just fucking admit that you don't like her daughter?
Yeah,
like don't go through this whole thing of saying, oh, she's sweet, but I fucking hate you. You hate her child, so stop hanging out with this person.
So has she been friends with this woman before before the child was born?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
Because I have a feeling that if she was, like, say they're like high school buddies or college buddies and they're older, or actually my age, yikes.
Oh God.
Wow.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So say they were friends from like high school or college and her child is 17. What if she feels like this? She's always had this like weird resentment towards this child for taking away her friend, and she's been harboring on it for
quite possible.
Almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
It is quite possible. Yeah.
That's gross and weird.
But,
it is
I mean,
gross and weird.
She even says, we haven't really spoken since. I'm okay with it. Well, then just what are you worried about then?
Then why are you writing this article?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Because you don't care. So
exactly. And people who claim they don't care, but then they write an entire fucking thread about it. They
sounds like you big care.
Yeah, you care.
No, you definitely fucking care. And I bet you definitely care when everybody tells you you're the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was mine. Different.
Thanks, AJ.
Yeah.
Thanks, AJ.
Yep. What have you got for us, Sam?
Okay. Well. Am I the asshole for accidentally, quote, giving my mother-in-law shroom chocolate?
Excuse me?
I when you said that out loud, I for some reason was imagining the quotes around accidentally. Like, I accidentally like, not the giving part.
So we're going to get into why giving was in quotations. So, all right. Try to keep this short. I, 29 female, and my wife, 30 female, stayed with a friend for a couple days, and she had a decently large supply of shroom chocolate. I don't do psychedelics often, but I took her up on the offer of taking a bar with me when we left. The chocolate was in a lint candy bar wrapper and labeled. Truly, it looks like a large lint candy bar and nothing else. I put the bar in my toiletry bag for safekeeping. On the return trip from our visit, we stopped and stayed with my in-laws. We were using the downstairs bathroom that I didn't think mother-in-law, 60s female, and father-in-law, 60s male, used at all, as their personal bathroom is equidistant from the common spaces. I kept my toiletry bag on the counter with my wife's. 2 days ago, mother-in-law used the bathroom, and while in there, she saw what she thought was a delicious lint chocolate bar poking out of my toiletry bag. Unable to resist, she ate about 1/4 to 1/3 of the bar, correctly thinking I wouldn't mind if it was my chocolate, as I am always willing to share. 1/3 of the bar is certainly enough to trip, not trip balls, but trip pretty hard. Mother-in-law had a panic attack on the come up, has no idea what was happening, and thought she was having a heart attack. She calls an ambulance while the rest of us are out of the house and checks herself into the hospital. Eventually, after much panic and drama and fear, we figure out what has happened. Mother-in-law is rattled, having never done drugs, but physically is fine. Now, my wife, my mother-in-law, and father-in-law are pissed at me. Even my wife's sister called to tell me I was an asshole for, quote, giving her mother shrooms. Obviously, I felt awful for what happened and profusely apologized, but I also feel like maybe I'm not the asshole here. Mother-in-law had to go digging into my personal bag and ate the chocolate without asking. Well, it might have been showing a tiny bit. I get the feeling she was snooping in my personals out of curiosity. I feel bad it happened, but she's all right now, and I think it's a good lesson to not take something that isn't yours without asking. I'll probably let this blow over and not fight them on it, but Reddit, for my own peace of mind, am I the asshole?
I don't think they're the asshole. That was an accident, and also I think he's correct. Don't go snooping in people's shit.
She.
So there's one, don't snoop in other people's stuff. But two, who the fuck goes into the bathroom and sees something and eats it?
I want bathroom chocolate.
I
want that toilet chocolate.
This is what got me is I cannot for the life of me I see people drinking wine and eating some cookies and stuff when they take a bath, right? And I for the life of me cannot imagine being in the bathroom with fucking food. I can't. I hate it.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting. This woman went to use the bathroom, got fucking snoopy. She fucking was snooping through somebody's shit that wasn't hers and then ate it. She ate it.
And that's what happened.
She fucking ate it. And she got what she fucking...
Yeah.
She got honestly, she got karma.
Honestly, so I'll give the parents a pass for being mad. Not I don't agree with them. I'll give them a pass because, whatever the fuck, she ended up in the hospital and all that shit. So I understand, there's an irrational anger there. But the fucking wife, come on. Fuck out. Wife...
You're gonna condone your mom snooping through my shit?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The wife has no fucking grounds to stand on to be mad at her wife.
She didn't offer it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's I'm sorry that your fucking mom snooped through my shit and ate my stuff. Fuck out of here. You have no ground to stand on to be mad at me for that.
It's...
And the sister,
that's literally the lesson that you learn. That's a lesson that you take away. Don't go snooping in people's things because you take shrooms by accident.
Yeah, and that's just the sister also being mad. All of these people, hey, I got an idea. How about all of you mind your fucking business because it doesn't fucking involve you, random sister. Stay the fuck out of my.
How about you all fuck off?
Yeah.
I can't believe how many people are saying that OP is the asshole, but also saying that mother-in-law is the asshole. Bruh, I'm sorry.
What are the reasons?
No way. Please read those comments. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I guess I'm alone here, but I'm going to go with you're the asshole. OP says they're used to sharing and wouldn't mind if it was a normal chocolate bar. That's a relationship they know they have, so no, it's her fault for taking food without asking. It's not her fault for taking food without asking. You went through my shit. This would be completely
it wasn't
different.
On the counter.
That's what I'm saying. This wasn't in the kitchen.
In a shopping bag.
This wasn't.
You went in her travel toilet sheet bag.
This wasn't just randomly in the kitchen, in a little bag or in a regular ass bag of candy. This was in a toiletry bag in the bathroom.
Why are you going in that?
Sometimes when my mother-in-law gets a headache, I give her some Advil that I keep in my purse. Well, she went into the bathroom and then she took my ecstasy because she thought she could.
Not the ecstasy. Really?
It's just this whole
Right. It's
I thought you wouldn't mind if I ate your toilet bag chocolate.
Yeah.
Why do you want to eat your toiletry bag bathroom?
Here's also the thing.
Gross.
Even if she was snooping, right? Obviously she was snooping, but I'm saying okay, so say you're snooping, right? You see a chocolate bar. Wouldn't your first reaction be, why the fuck is this chocolate in the toilet bag? Like, why is this?
Yeah.
Why are they carrying chocolate in the toiletry bag? Aren't they worried that maybe like some shampoo will get on it? I don't want to eat that. What if there's shampoo on this chocolate? What the fuck?
I'm certainly not thinking maybe I'll eat this thing that I found. Like,
I see this bathroom found.
That is never like a thought that I'm going to have if I'm looking through something and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to eat this. You know, I
feel like I would kind of know, like, if you find a food item in a place where food should not be, I think in my heart, I would know it's drugs.
Right?
I mean,
knowing me.
Right?
Growing up with a party-oriented family, you learn to know better.
God.
Like, what is gummy bears in this? In his pocket. I don't know. Like, that's a weird place to keep gummy bears in like a denim jacket pocket. It's weird.
In the back of the closet.
They're probably drugs.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, there's just so many things here that I'm just like, she's definitely not the asshole here. I don't think she is.
No, I don't think she is either. She didn't fucking give this woman anything. She, like, look, there's a complete difference between going, oh, I wouldn't have minded. I don't mind if you take some chocolate out of the bag that I obviously left in the kitchen for everybody.
Yeah.
No, you went into my shit. Why are you going through my shit?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in my house. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, because this is my possession, and fuck you for going in my bag. It's also different if it's like, yeah, you can have one of my chocolate bars, and like it's all mixed in together, and it was a weird like piñata situation where like, whoops, you got the drug one.
Yeah.
That's different, and that's not what happened. It was literally one suspicious candy bar in a place where candy bars shouldn't be.
Yeah, it'd be a lot different if she was like, oh yeah, help yourself, they're in my bag.
So,
and then she grabbed,
a lot of people,
like, oop, you got the wrong one.
A lot of people are saying everyone sucks here, literally because they're saying that because it was in false packaging in a common area. Let me tell you something. My fucking toiletry bag in my suitcase is not a common area. I don't care if it's in the bath. It's in the bathroom. It's in the bathroom.
Right. Why are y'all defending someone who's eating bathroom chocolate?
Now,
let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the fact that, like, you know, if this was a kid, you know, it's kind of a known thing that kids are going to snoop because they're fucking children. They're terrible, right? But like, this is a grown ass adult woman who knows right from wrong.
It's like the story that I read like a couple of months back with the kid who ran to the house and almost ate the uncle's like pot brownies or whatever.
Yeah.
And the parents got super mad, even though the kid didn't eat them. But it's literally like, hey.
And they didn't invite themselves. They just
came. They came there. Like, it's like, maybe don't fucking take things that aren't yours. Like, I don't care if you have that relationship or not. You know, there's a lot like, okay, for instance, there are a lot of things if there's something in the fridge that was like Sam's, I could eat it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask permission still. You know, even though I know that, like, there's a whole, like, hey, you know, she's not going to give a shit if I just eat this because it's fucking there. But I'm still going to ask because that's the fucking polite thing to do. Like, I don't, like...
You're a better person than me because I just randomly eat your shit all the time.
But, like, there's just that mentality of, like, you know, like, it's not fucking hard to just, I don't know, not just assume that I found this shit in the fucking bathroom. Let me eat it. But... yeah, not the
find anything in the bathroom and eat it, regardless.
No, don't be eating bathroom chocolate.
Don't eat bathroom
toilet chocolate.
Don't eat bathroom chocolate. Don't stop this shit.
You shouldn't know that even if you don't dabble in drugs, you should know that if there's a food item in a weird place, it's probably drugs.
How about don't snoop through fucking shit?
Yeah.
Don't snoop and don't eat weird shit. Who keeps... Listeners, have you ever gone on a trip and kept a like security chocolate bar in your travel bag next to your shampoo? No, but let me know if you did, because that's weird.
I'm going way too deep and too meta for this or whatever. But there's also like there's just some things you don't think about too. Like, what if this girl was like diabetic and never told anybody, and that's her fucking, you know, like, it's like
emergency candy bar.
Yeah, emergency candy, or, you know, there's so many things here. I'm like, just don't, if it's in someone's fucking bag, leave it the fuck alone for whatever, you know, like, it's not the same as she left it on the kitchen counter and it was just sitting there. So I figured, whatever, I'll have a little snack.
Right, that's totally different. It's still an invasion of privacy, but it's totally different. Like, oh, it's in her Target bag, and there's like a bag of popcorn and some mascara and some chocolate. Which is my shopping list, obviously.
Well, what have you got for us, Sushi? What's?
All right, here we go. Am I the asshole for not letting my husband invite his parents to Thanksgiving?
I'm ready.
Okay. Get your assholes ready. Thanksgiving is the one holiday that we host at our house because mother-in-law grew up in Spain, so she never really cared about Thanksgiving.
Because she doesn't have to.
Because they didn't celebrate.
They don't fucking celebrate it.
Oh my fucking God.
They don't have, because they're the colonizers.
Like, fuck that Thanksgiving.
They don't celebrate Colonizer Day. My mother-in-law has issues with food. I wouldn't quite call her a picky eater because to me, that is someone who eats like a 5-year-old and just eats chicken nuggets and cheese pizza. She eats a good variety of food, but it's very sensitive to quality, and she seems to have some emotional issues surrounding eating. She kind of starves herself when she's unhappy, and her husband has a cajole. What is that? I don't know how to say that word. Cajole?
Sound it out.
See? Okay, oh my God, it's dyslexic. CAJOLE. How do you say cajole?
CAJO.
OLE. What does that mean?
It's a town.
No. You had it.
Oh, did I?
Are we all stupid?
We're all...
Persuading someone to do something by sustained coaxing or flattery, and it's literally pronounced cajole.
Oh, okay. Well,
Here,
cajole.
Let's sound it out.
I've never heard of that word before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm dumb.
Cajole.
Hi, welcome
Cajole.
to the podcast.
That's what the dictionary says.
Cajole.
Truth be told, I've never heard the word cajole before.
I've never heard it either. Well, we learned today. 2020 is all about learning stuff, so we learned a new word.
Wait, can you let me know, listeners, if you learned a new word today also? Because I've never heard of that word before, and now I feel dumb.
Now I feel like she can't be the asshole because she taught us something.
Right.
All right.
I learned a new word. Anyway, so she had to cajole her into eating, and she uses food to assert dominance.
Oh,
wow.
God. Imagine asserting your dominance by eating food.
I'm going to pee on this pound cake. Like, what? What does it mean?
As one does.
As one does.
Pee on a pound cake.
Peed on a pound cake. Why is pound cake the first thing that came to my mind?
There's a lot of bathrooms and peeing and food in this episode, but
there is. I love when we come up with themes unintentionally. I love it.
bathroom food.
God. Anyway, she will not eat my cooking. She has never been rude about it, but the amount of times she has claimed she felt sick just isn't believable to me. And it isn't even like she's trying to watch her weight because she'll eat unhealthy food in other situations. I think it's a control thing, but it pisses me off. Every year on Thanksgiving, she claims she has a stomach ache and can't eat. Again, she isn't rude and she sits at the table with us, but I know she's lying. Last year was weird. Her husband put a spoonful of food in her mouth as a joke. No, in general, she's all about jokes and everything is funny. And they both have a mean sense of humor, but she seems to enjoy it. And she started actually choking and went to the bathroom and cried for 20 minutes. This guy never apologizes for anything and thinks everything is funny, but he apologized profusely, seemed really guilty, and they left early while she was still fighting back tears. I said that I'm not willing to invite her this year because I find this so rude and it stresses me out to be around. My husband says I'm being unfair and it should be his decision, though he doesn't cook and he says that she isn't obligated to eat. And she's always nice enough. It sounds like she has an eating disorder.
It really does. And my thing is, like, if she's so like adamant about like, oh, she can only have this and this and this, why doesn't she bring her own fucking food? I know plenty of people who like have such like bad food allergies that when they go to other people's houses, they just say, hey, I hope I'm not being rude, but you know, I do have
I'm gonna bring my own meal.
I'm gonna bring my own meal so it doesn't stress you the fuck out.
So like I wanted to lean more like towards the whole like, okay, well, it's not just about food, like you know, reneging an invitation or whatever. It's like, okay, now they can't be a part of anything. They can't hang out with the family or whatever. So like, but it sounds like she kind of like goes out of her way to like make this woman feel bad about her cooking. You know, like if she just went there and just didn't eat, that's fine. Like if I invite you to the house, you don't eat, whatever the fuck, you're still here for the company, and that's one thing. But it's like, yeah, but she's literally being toxic. There's a difference here. Like
I think I might have figured it out. I think she has an eating disorder, and her defense mechanism is mean humor. Yeah. And it's coming. It is very rude. Yeah. It's rude, but it's her like. Her brain is protecting herself from like letting everyone know she has an eating disorder.
Yeah, she definitely. I'm
not. You know what? Making excuses for her, but.
Right? Yeah. No, I can see that, especially since she was talking about how like her and her husband
it's like
usually
a deflection.
She and her husband usually have like a mean sense of humor, which is fine for people. But like the fact that even he seemed to seemed like he knew he went too far means that he probably knows about it too, and that this shit bothers her. But here's the thing, like maybe she is kind of an asshole for saying like, oh, your mom's just not fucking coming. Like, I'm so sick of this shit, right? But why can't you just ask him, hey, can you maybe talk to your mom about like maybe bringing her own food this time? Or
I feel like there's other solutions to it.
You could literally tell your husband, hey, I don't appreciate her like adamantly like saying that she's always sick from eating my food.
Hell, I mean, you could even offer to like if she cared enough, you could even like, hey, what if we invite her and she cooks? Have her come early.
Yeah. But she probably, if she really truly does have an eating disorder like that, she's probably going to not do that.
I know. I'm just saying, like, there's just like some sort of thing where it's like there's other solutions here besides just jumping to that.
Yeah.
But I could also understand like if she's kind of being an asshole about it, then I understand, like, yeah, well, they don't even fucking celebrate Thanksgiving anyway, so who the fuck cares ultimately?
It kind of does feel like everyone sucks here for this one for me, just because like I do agree with AJ in that I think there were other solutions she could have jumped to first. Maybe that was like an initial reaction, like, well, fuck it, she just can't come. But like. Man, the Thanksgiving ones are already rolling in. I love this.
Yeah. I love it, right? We're already getting festive.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I would lean towards everyone sucks here. Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone sucks here in this situation just because, like, she didn't have to, like, disinvite her completely. Just don't eat my fucking food and don't talk shit. Like,
yeah.
Right. Like, bring a fucking sandwich and shut up. The official ruling is not the asshole. But I can agree that everyone sucks here.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're the official ruling, so...
Exactly. It's our way.
Yeah. It's our podcast, god damn it.
Wow.
We're the law.
Yeah.
God.
Well, speaking of the law, let's look at some Craigslist stuff. There's probably people breaking it on there, right?
Sure.
That's what people on Craigslist do. Everyone's breaking the law on there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So for my misconnection, I went back to Ohio, but I specifically went to Cleveland.
Gross.
Ohio.
Oh.
I'm not from Cleveland, just to throw
but
that
you're
out
from
there.
Ohio. Gross.
Yeah.
All of Ohio is Cleveland. Stop lying.
Wow. This one's called, the title is just an old white grandpa.
Oh. I'm already out.
70-year-old man looking for... 71-year-old man looking for thin or skinny 18 to 35.
No.
If you're 36, you're out.
Oh, no.
Year-old guys who are just wanting to hang out with grandpa.
I hate it here.
I hate Ohio.
I hate Ohio. I'm going to cross that one off the list. I don't care that Dave Chappelle lives there. I'm not going.
I love when they have like this age limit, but they're like, no. 35 is a fucking cutoff. God damn it. I don't care if I'm 71 years old. If you're 40 years old, that's too old for me. What?
I literally want to puke in my own mouth right now.
I want to throw up.
Do you think and clearly he wants them to call them grandpa?
God.
Because why else would he say I'm just an old white grandpa? And why else would he come hang out?
Oh no!
Yeah.
This is a man who was like, man, I can't wait to be in my 70s so I can be old and fucking dirty.
Yeah.
I can't harass women until the day I die.
God. Okay, so I I'm in Portland because, honestly, there's just so much here. Okay. The puppet maker that I met off Northeast Broadway in 2015. It's a long shot that you'd even see this. You were specifically a puppet maker living on your own with type 1 diabetes. I was specifically 5'10", short blonde hair, 21, and living in Sullivan's Gulch. We were friends with benefits, met on Tinder or OkCupid in 2015. But looking back, I wish I valued you more as a human being. Your eccentricity caught me off guard and intimidated me. I shouldn't have let it. But naivety got in the way. The physical connection was there. I was very attracted and probably still would be today if I just saw you. Just wanted to let you know you are memorable. So if you fucking make weird puppets in Portland and you used to know a kind of tall blonde.
And you also have type 1 diabetes.
And you have type 1 diabetes. Like, let's be honest. How many puppet makers have type 1? Yeah, how many fucking puppet makers have type 1 diabetes?
I assume a lot.
I'm going to look.
Maybe all of them. Like, I don't know. How many puppet makers are there in Portland?
I don't know. I hate puppets.
I'm hoping not a lot.
I hate puppets.
I fucking hate puppets.
I hate puppets, so, like, I really don't want to know. These things fucking creep me out. Look, nothing against you and your hobby, but goddamn.
I have everything against you and your hobby if it's puppets.
So how do you feel about the movie Being John Malkovich?
I've actually never seen Being John Malkovich.
Okay, I have a bad story about Being John Malkovich.
Tell me right now.
So when Being John Malkovich came out in a time when people still ordered pay-per-view. Yep. And for some reason, I was really young when that movie came out. And I don't know how, but I convinced my parents to buy it. And there is so much sex in that movie that I didn't know about. Because, I'm a fucking child. And I've never seen the rest of the movie because my mom saw one sex scene and she immediately turned the channel and yelled at me for them ordering Being John Malkovich. But in my defense, what the fuck? You're the parent. Parent me. What did I convince you?
John Malkovich is a respected actor and a scholar. Yes.
She don't know who John Malkovich is.
And that John Cusack.
I also have a ventriloquist story, but
oh God,
that's creepy enough as it is.
I love that movie though. I can't even lie. I love that.
Do
movie.
you really?
I haven't seen. Yeah, I need to see it.
I feel like it's gonna make me angry.
It's just weird. It's one of those
John
like
Cusack in it,
I don't
it?
tell people about that part of my personality, like how actually weird I am. It's in there. Like I love that movie. It's
John
so
Malkovich is already kind of a weird dude.
Your next makeup look needs to be John Malkovich.
I mean, you got the fucking bald cap, right?
Yeah, just put that bald cap back on. God, every time I see you with that bald cap, I just
looking like a sperm.
looking like a penis.
But a really cute penis, and there aren't many of those.
That's true. They're in short supply. If you guys want to see what I look like an actual penis, go to my Twitter. It's there.
Yeah, it's there.
Just keep scrolling. You'll find it.
What's your misconnection for us, Sushi?
Okay, I went to Sedona.
Where the fuck
Where's
is that?
Sedona?
Arizona?
Arizona.
Oh, Sedona, Arizona. Okay.
Yeah. The title is Halloween ?
Oh God.
Wanted to get to know you better for a while. This morning, I spoke to you where you work. You left me a perfect opening to ask you out, but since I'm awkward AF, I missed it. We were talking about Halloween. If you see this, still have no plans other than watching the Halloween films at home, and would like someone to hang out with and see where this goes, please reply. You once told me I have nice eyes. Yours are attractive too. You missed your shot. Stop being weird. No one's going on fucking Craigslist and being like, this sounds familiar. I'm gonna press reply on this one.
That is there is definitely one of those things like the whole idea of a missed connection is like, okay, you saw somebody, you hit it off in a way, but like you were total strangers. And maybe you had like an hour of good conversation and then you went your separate ways and then you thought about them later on. But a lot of people treat it like, I knew you for a long time and I pined after you and I didn't decide to do anything about it. And now you've moved on and you're happily married, but maybe there's a chance.
You have a whole family, but Joan, if you still think about me, hit me up. Like, that's not a misconnection.
Yeah.
You're a pussy. It's not a misconnection, dude.
Holy shit. Wow.
Oh. We got some
Watch movies by yourself, girl. Leave this loser behind.
yeah, Netflix and chill by myself.
Yeah.
Like that.
Netflix and
Just
chill
the way
with John
God
Malkovich.
intended.
No, don't do that. No.
I think it's on there. I think Being John Malkovich is on Netflix.
It probably is.
It's either, I feel like I see it on one of the multiple fucking stream services at all times.
Really weird, but maybe you might like it. I don't know.
It's also like 2 hours.
It's
It
meta.
really is. It's fucking long as shit.
It's a long movie.
It's a very meta movie.
Yeah.
So
We got some relationship advice to give?
Oh, we got some. I know mine's going to make you too mad. You want me to get out of the way?
Yeah, probably.
All right. I knew this. Oh, it's a good thing. Look at this. See, look at that. It was deleted. But you know what I did?
Oh.
I took a screen cap of it. So let me just pull that up real quick. Because
you're not like me and you're smart.
Yeah, I decided to be safe about this.
Mm-hmm. It's like the internet condom. You gotta take a screenshot.
Oh, the internet condom. Okay, so
God.
you can't hide from me. Once I find it, I screen cap it now. So we're back. All right. You'll understand why this is deleted when I read the title.
Great.
Now, I have said in the past that I was just going to read titles without saying the name or the ages and the things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read the ages in this one specifically because it makes it funnier.
Okay.
And by funnier, I mean it's going to make you two more angry. Should I,
Awesome.
male 46, expect my girlfriend, 21, to pay for our and my mom's rent? Sushi's face right now is
Literally speechless.
I'm not speechless because
Sushi got that wide open mouth, and Sam got that fucking like just disappointed hands on the hips, like shaking her head.
She got that southern mom stand. She was like,
fucking-
oh,
Oh
hell
my
no.
god, she called you a southern mom.
I know I'm really upset.
So
She's like, get in the goddamn house.
Hey, man, get your ass back in this house.
all right, so we got. I moved to another country for her, so it's 90 Day Fiance. I moved to another country for her, but we started arguing all the time.
Oh.
So I gave her the control over my business.
Wow, he's 46 and fucking stupid.
So imagine that being your solution. Like, man, I argue so much with my significant other. Maybe I should let them control all of my finances.
Maybe it's a king.
21-year-old. Are you that inept?
Yeah.
Like,
Now its balance is negative.
whose fault is that?
But
Yours?
I'm so emotionally down because of all the fights that I asked her to cover rent this month. And then it says in parentheses, and this is written really weird. I'm actually not sure if English is their first language because of the way it's written, but it says
Okay.
it's like 2 her salaries, but she has savings. So I'm assuming their rent is 2 times her salary, but he's basically saying like, but she got savings. So he wants her to pay for the rent, but she can't afford it. So he wants her to use her savings. Should I break up with her if she says she doesn't want to do it? And then here's the caveat too, right? There's a TLDR, but the TLDR suddenly
It's sweaty.
it's just more information.
Sweaty.
TLDR. While for a few months I was depressed of all our fights, she made my business run into almost negative. And then it says, should I expect her to pay for our and my mom's rent from her savings now that we don't have money? Where did the mom come into this? They just added that in the TLDR.
I guarantee you that the mom gave him money to start that fucking business.
Yeah, for sure.
And so because this was so quickly deleted, this is from 11 hours ago. This is not that old. Like, the first comment kind of cracked me up. It says, no, your 21-year-old girlfriend should not pay your mother's rent. It's your business and your mother. Grow up and find someone your own age.
Imagine
they're
being
the real hero
46
here.
and not fucking grown up. Imagine being 46 and going, man, I'm so depressed and we fight all the time. Here, just control all of my finances for me because I just don't obviously know what the fuck I'm doing.
1-year-old, like, they eat ramen noodles. They still use paper plates. Why would you put your personal finances as an adult human being into the hands of what I would call a child?
Because she was already doing accounting when they started dating, is what the other comments here say. And it says, I couldn't handle the expenses, or I couldn't handle business because I was depressed, and she was already doing accounting when we started dating. And I'm like, well, clearly she couldn't handle the business either because it's in the fucking negative now. But I'm curious, what the fuck is this business that got tanked? Like, I imagine immediately.
It's literally soup tubes.
It's soup tubes.
It's fucking soup tubes. Look, if you're fighting all the time, you literally have nothing in common with each other.
He says, she's very smart, followed by, and we're very compatible. Dude, you started this off saying you're fighting all the time. You're not very compatible. Like,
you could be her father.
Yeah,
send her to her room.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
You could literally be her grandfather.
A 46-year-old man is not compatible with a 21-year-old girl.
This 21-year-old girl is literally going to change her life several different times, and you're just going to get old and gray and dirty, and you're going to hold her back. So, literally, just stop going after 21-year-olds, you nasty, nasty man.
It's just like there's
that. Our core audience probably isn't a person like this, but I'm still going to speak to this person as if they're listening.
Okay.
If you are upwards of 10 years older than your child bride, fucking leave her alone. You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo. You don't have anything in common. You are mentally stunted. You don't have anything in common with a 21-year-old. You're 46. You should be signing up for AARP.
It's one of those things too, like, it's so hard to not look at it and go, okay, when this man was 25, she was being born.
Disgusting.
That is absolute 20 fucking 5. Like, that is because it's just it is so disgusting.
Here's my thing is, you've lived your fucking life, dude. You're 46. Go fuck with someone who has experience and a fucking life. Don't fucking drag this poor woman down because and prevent her from living a fucking normal ass life because you're disgusting.
You know what blows me away? What I want to know is, why do these old men always go for these 21-year-olds? Because I dated 21-year-olds when I was like 21. They're fucking annoying because you're 21. I was probably annoying too because I was 21. Like, why would you want to elicit someone? Like, why would you want to garner someone that is literally going to be annoying because you're just so far
Because these dudes only look with their dick.
Yeah.
They only look with their dick.
And
they say, oh my God. And they can manipulate them and groom them into what they actually want. And she literally is going, like, no, like, I imagine. Oh my God, I hate this talk. I hate it. I hate it here. I hate all this shit. I don't even want an explanation. I just fucking want him to fucking be blasted out into the stratosphere. I fucking can't stand this dude.
Go to the moon. She's not mature. You're not on the same level. You're a fucking weirdo.
This dude needs to get in the bear. Get in the bear.
Get in the bear.
Get in the fucking bear. Get in the fucking bear. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh, so he deleted it from relationships, but he posted it again in relationship advice, and everyone shit on him there too.
Oh, okay. So he didn't like his verdict. Interesting.
Oh, he took out the fucking ages.
Oh,
and then he added them back.
He knows he's a creep. But yeah, so...
Oh, wait, no, look. Just looked at his profile, and he posted as the 21 female with the 46 boyfriend in a previous post. So now I edited it to pressing the piss off troll button. So he didn't like it. Oh my God.
So he tried to cover it up and tried to reverse the roles.
Oh my God.
The internet's telling him he's a fucking perv, and he's like, doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my relationships.
Wow.
It was, the thing is, I was looking through these last night and I saw the title. I was like, here we go.
All right.
Mine might also make us a little angy.
Maybe mine too, so.
Oh, great. So it doesn't matter who goes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll go.
Okay, go.
All right, so this one's not that big of an age gap. It's literally he's 30 and she's 29. Okay, my girlfriend is completely blind to her bad sense of humor, and it's ruining an otherwise perfect relationship. So I read the title and I was like, this could go either way.
Yeah.
But then I started reading it and I was like, oh no.
Really?
Okay, so he says that he uses a throwaway because my girlfriend is extremely online. I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. I love her very much. Already? No. I know she loves me. Probably not. But something is driving me crazy, and I don't even know how to begin to approach her about it. I've hidden it so long, I feel like I've accidentally set a time bomb. It's kind of my fault because I encouraged her in the beginning, but now it's graduating to levels I never imagined. It's her sense of humor. It's awful. I don't care that it's awful, but she has a total blind spot about it now.
You do care about it. That's why you're fucking writing this.
Would be, yeah. And this is a little bit of a long one. Okay. So to make a long and boring story short, he doesn't because it's paragraphs. Men lie.
It actually is as long as you thought, sir.
Men lie. She used to make little jokes around me all the time that were painful to hear. Nails on a chalkboard, no sense of timing. But I was so smitten with her, I forced myself to respond with what must have been a convincing laugh. So what he's really saying is, my dick was so hard that I could look past all of that. Honestly, It's so bad, I thought it was cute in a way. After a while, I thought of a way to solve the problem by saying her jokes were, quote, too good to waste, and encouraging her to start posting them on Twitter. It completely backfired because she became obsessed with Twitter and started building her account on every moment of the day. Not only does she now think she's even more hilarious, but after 6 years, she has 30,000 followers. It's not really 30,000. It's more. If I give the exact number, she might figure out who I am. I know some people are going to say that must mean she's really funny, but I promise this isn't the case. 30,000 people, obviously, they're completely wrong.
I mean, I've seen millions of people follow the wrong people. So.
Well, you know, okay, this is true. Okay, so anyway, moving on. I know some people are going to say that must mean she's really funny, but I promise this isn't the case. This is worded wrong. Weird. No one anyone has heard of follows her. I think he's trying to say no one I've ever heard of is following her. Certainly no comedians. It's all little accounts trying to be funny and doing a little worse than she is, interacting to try and build their audience. So she's a Twitch streamer. This is a nightmare where I'm listening to her workshop jokes constantly and getting extensive details on comedy-related Twitter drama. She spends her time going on podcasts no one has ever heard of, as if she's starting to chase some kind of career as a talking head. She talks about people I've never heard of like they're celebrities. I'm not media illiterate. These just aren't well-known people. Again, I have to reiterate, since people are going to think I'm being unfair, no one I know thinks my girlfriend is funny. This isn't related to her career at all, and at the risk of sounding like a scolding parent, I'm afraid it's taking energy away from her real job. If you were me and wanted to save this relationship, how would you approach this? We've been together for almost 7 years, and I don't want to start over again and lose someone I care about. Give me some help here, or I guess be honest if you think it's a lost cause.
I have so many thoughts.
Oh, I have a ton of thoughts.
Bubbling to the surface.
So, okay, first of all, you went into this in the fucking wrong way to begin with. The whole oh yeah, I'm just gonna pander to her, that way she'll suck my dick eventually. The whole bullshit of I just laughed at her jokes, that way we could fuck later on, because that's all I was wanting to do. If you didn't think she was funny, you didn't think she was funny, and it sounds like you just don't like her when you word it that way.
Right? He doesn't like her,
and
sounds like he's jealous of her too.
Exactly, he sounds jealous of her. Also, this whole thing of yeah, she said all these names I've never heard of. Dude, you know how many people I could say the names of that have huge followings, but if I said it to anybody else, they have no fucking idea who I'm talking about? The internet is gigantic. Yeah. And whether you're into video games or crime drama podcasts or fucking
there's famous
sports,
people in each
or whatever the fuck. There's and like even if
ghost
you're not,
hunting.
Exactly. There's famous people everywhere, and the thing is, there's famous people who aren't even in a category that are just famous just for being a fucking Twitter account. You know, just for like look at like Drill. You know, like there's accounts that are like. Exactly, but like I mean, you've seen tweets from that account. Like
so when he was like, oh, she goes on podcasts and talks about people that no one knows about. Okay, so what that made me think about is the whole
get her on the podcast.
I know, right? Right?
Be on a podcast. We have a podcast, and we're funny.
What made me think of this right away is I have made my rabbit hole way on YouTube to a section of YouTube where it's literally just people who have a following because they talk about other people on the internet. It's almost like
it's drama.
It's a gossip column. Yeah. It's a gossip column, but it's in video format, and they dive deep into these people and what they're doing, and they're literally talking about people that I don't fucking know who those people are. And now I got 2 people I don't know who the fuck they are, but everybody's got fucking 60,000 subscribers, you know? And it's like, that's the first thing I thought of was, okay, she's going on a podcast to talk about some Twitter drama, but there, you know how many fucking groups there are on Twitter? We literally just talked about sugar daddy Twitter, you know? Like, there's so many different groups. There's Twitch Twitter, there's fucking sugar daddy Twitter, there's sex worker Twitter, there's fucking these people Twitter, there's celebrity drama Twitter. There's all kinds of fucking shit on Twitter. So, like, she obviously just found a niche. A niche. She found a niche.
She found her people. She found her tribe.
So,
that's how the internet works. You find your tribe.
So, first of all, I know that a lot of like millions of people can follow somebody and like not have a fucking sense of humor. I get that, but it's just very strange to me that he would think that 30,000 fucking people, all of them, none of them like think she's funny. Not a single one of them, right? So
at least 5 of them think she's funny.
Exactly. So diving into this a little bit more, come to find out, this dude, while not, because he's so adamant that no one find out who he is. He works
the crumb.
He works in media. So when he says he's not media illiterate, he's literally saying, I work in media. So he's like, I completely understand how it sounds, but I'm not threatened by anything. I think the reason I have a little more than average insight into the kind of thing that she's doing is that I work in media. So this kind of thing isn't totally foreign to me. Believe me when I say I've considered the problem could be me, but after weighing the evidence, I don't think it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
So someone replied, just because you work in media doesn't mean you know all about comedy. You may not think she's funny, but people do. What does news media have to do with comedy anyway? I removed
nothing.
I removed that part because it would be easier to guess who I am if someone sees it, but you've taken that power away from me. So obviously he had said something before and then he edited it. So he works in news media. Being in this line of work isn't the same as knowing comedy, but journalism and entertainment are closely linked in social. I am saying I have a better understanding of it than someone who is only experiencing what I am dealing with. So what he is he's fucking jealous because he's been doing this for honestly, she's been doing this for 6 years. She has 30,000 followers. How old is my Twitter account? Like 5 years old, and I have like nowhere near that many. This girl's fucking killing it. I want to know who the fuck she is so I can fucking follow her.
The podcast.
So, and that's the thing too, is also this. The whole like, oh, she isn't funny. Okay, but you realize comedy is a thing that's not for everybody.
It's subjective.
It's so fucking subjective.
The most subjective thing you can think of.
Adam Sandler still has a career. Comedy is subjective.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, and that I mean, there's so many comedians
Explain
that that like
comedy is subjective.
It's completely fucking subjective. So
it's just like horror. Horror is subjective.
Yeah.
What scares you is not going to scare me. What you think is funny, I may not think is funny, but 30,000 people think she's fucking funny. And she probably tells a lot of puns. That's probably what it is.
At the end of the day, why the fuck wouldn't you just support her, man? Like, what is she doing so wrong that like, and here,
it isn't hurting anyone. Why does she need to stop?
Because he wants 30,000.
But what really gets me is the fact that I'm like, you can't fucking tell a story about like, oh man, this person does all this things and then not give a fucking example. Why don't you tell us the joke? Why don't you tell us what she's done that you didn't find funny? Write out a scenario where you said something and she said something back and you were so fucking angry because you didn't find it funny. Tell us what the fucking thing is, because as it stands, all we have is you saying, I don't think she's funny.
Okay, so
she's not funny.
Everybody,
I know
everybody literally was like, yo, can you give us an example? And he absolutely refused because he's so adamant that if he tells one of her jokes, she'll find him and she'll know who, like, that he did this, right? Literally, I'm trying to think of a way to prove my point by giving an example, but the way she phrases things is so recognizable. I'm sure this would blow up in my face in the worst way. It already has, because I hope it does, literally everybody fucking hates this dude.
Man, so recognizable. Yeah. That's also another word for successful, right? If it's so recognizable, then clearly she's gotten some success with it.
So what I think is this is the classic case of Mrs. Maisel, where he thinks he's the funniest fucking thing in the world, and he's out here like trying to be the comedian god that he thinks he is, and she came out of nowhere with her own unique sense of humor, and she's fucking funnier than he is, and he's mad about it.
That's why I'm glad that I'm the funniest one.
Now, Jesus Christ. So that's why comedy is subjective, AJ. So here's the thing that really sinks it in for why this man should get in the bear. We've been together for almost 7 years, and I don't want to start over again. That was the first thing that came to his mind. I don't want to lose her. I just don't want to start over. Why would I want to? I just wasted 7 years on hating this woman. Yeah. Why would I want to?
You've hated her for 7 years. Find a new girlfriend. You don't like your girlfriend.
Let her literally find someone who's going to support her and isn't for the past 7 years literally holding it in himself going, I don't think she's fucking funny.
Yeah.
That would, look, I know I have my own sense of humor, but if I was dating someone and I found out 7 years later that they literally just don't think I'm fucking funny and have been faking it the entire time, I would feel like
holding
absolute
this
shit.
Bitter resentment.
I would
too,
feel
not
like
just thinking they're not
shit.
funny.
I want to make my significant other laugh and it be genuine. I don't want to find out later that the one thing I like about myself, you fucking hate.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like, I genuinely think I'm funny. Even if I'm the only one that makes me laugh, like, I'm laughing.
That's just it too. Like I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. Like, with these videos that I've been making lately, like I will make them and I will sit there and I will laugh at my own stupid fucking joke, and I will literally like. I don't really give a shit if other people will laugh at it or not, but like I will enjoy it.
It's like me happy.
Exactly. And I feel like if I can enjoy it, then other people, somebody else is going to. So if she's getting a kick out of her own jokes or whatever the fuck she's doing that she thinks is funny, other people are too. Or she also wouldn't have gotten like a following, because the thing is, people don't, especially on Twitter, people don't like hate follow an account that's a nobody, right?
Yeah.
Like to build an audience, you have to be liked by that audience. There are people who hate follow accounts because they want to keep an eye on them, but it's somebody who's already really big and successful. They hate follow it or whatever. But you don't hate follow a fucking nobody and slowly build. God, I hate this person with 17 follows. I'm gonna follow them. Like, that doesn't happen on Twitter. Like, so she built a successful audience, and this dude's
mad
jealous.
at it. Yeah.
Mad.
He's so super jealous. Also, like, I'm getting mad, like, I don't think women are funny vibes too from this kind of shit.
He definitely doesn't think women are funny in general. He just doesn't think women are funny. Like, he thinks they're incapable of ever making a laugh.
I think it's hilarious that he's like, she's certainly not getting comedians following her. How the fuck do you know? Did you actually like? Do you follow these people and have they made you laugh? Like, then that's fucking comedy. Like,
oh, you like female comedians? Name everyone.
Name every one of them. All of them. Alphabetically. Or
from the beginning of time.
From the beginning of time. Let's go.
Go.
Yeah. There's definitely this reeks of insecurity.
Get in the bear.
Get in the bear.
Get in the bear.
In the bear.
Get in the fucking bear.
Yeah. It reeks of insecurity, and plus, there's something that really bugs me about these types of posts where people are trying to tell a specific story, but they won't because of anonymity or because they're trying to be anonymous, but they also want to tell this very specific story, but they won't give out details because they know if they give out details, they're gonna be proven wrong. That's why he's not saying it. He's not saying it because he's afraid of her finding it. He's saying it because he hasn't been fucking proven wrong.
And I bet we all follow her.
And at the end of the fucking day, like, this is such a non-goddamn issue that he clearly has not decided to bring it up with her and talk with her. If it's bothering you that much, just be like, you know what? But at the same time, break up with her too, because you've been fucking leading her on for 7 years.
This man legit said, believe me when I say I've considered the problem could be me. But after weighing the evidence, I don't think it is. Motherfucker, you didn't weigh any evidence. And he got bumped down negative 238 times downvoted.
Good.
Fuck that guy. Get in the bear and shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Oh my God.
But my favorite part about that is that was also posted on Twitter, and everybody started tagging their favorite Twitter comedian.
Is this you? Is this you?
God, yeah, pretty much. And everybody was like, thank God. Like, I've never in my life loved the fact that I'm over 29, because they were like, I'm not.
There's an update. 2 hours ago, I found an update.
Hell yeah, good eye.
Yeah. All right, Sam. Well, it's your story.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. Here we go. All right.
Hopefully they're broken up.
Well, my request for advice blew up after it was posted to a Twitter account that apparently pulls all its content from this community. I'm sorry if I promised an update to you and didn't deliver. I got such a flood of responses, I didn't have a prayer of keeping up. Thank you to those of you who offered sincere advice. I ended up having a tough conversation with my girlfriend about limiting the amount of play-by-play I get about her Twitter activity. It didn't go over that well, but I was able to avoid the disaster of breaking up a long-term relationship. Whether this peace will last is to be determined, I guess. To those who tried to out me to my girlfriend, you have no idea how close you got. It was honestly impressive, though. I was white knuckling through about 4 days with her. Congrats, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Again, thanks to those who gave sincere advice. I really do appreciate it. I wonder what the sincere advice was.
There's still time, Twitter. Do your thing.
Right?
Get this woman out of this terrible relationship.
This comment says, update. Selfish, jealous boyfriend convinces long-term girlfriend to stop talking about a hobby she enjoys and could possibly turn into a lucrative career. It's a bold strategy. Let's see how it pans out.
Right.
So, I get the whole, not wanting to always hear about fucking drama and gossip and stuff like that. But to literally adamantly go, oh my God, she's not funny is just...
And also,
I want to know how close we actually got. You have no idea how close you got. I want to know who it is.
Well, here's the thing.
I want to know.
Here's the thing. Why in the fuck would you say that? Because all he just did was light the fire under fucking Reddit.
Because he probably
we got close. We're gonna find her now.
Well, not only that, but he said she's extremely online. Well, she's extremely online, and it went to Twitter.
Yeah.
It went to Twitter.
Then it's over for you hoes. As soon as it goes to Twitter, it's done.
Look, let's see. What does this idiot say? Newsflash from another long-suffering partner of a Twitter, quote, comedian. You're an asshole and a bad boyfriend. You should be treating every one of those tweets like gold. I don't think you really respect your girlfriend. Okay, maybe they weren't fucking idiot, but...
Sam made it super negative. Fuck this guy. Oh, wait, no, they made a good point.
Good point.
God.
I think, what if now at this point he doesn't want to be with her, right? Because he maybe he realizes he actually resents her and he doesn't like her, right? Maybe he wants to be outed by Twitter now, so Twitter can do the breaking up for him.
I hope so too. I hope so.
Because then she'd probably be like, oh, well, fuck you.
What I really hope from this is that, Twitter has this really good, I don't know if it's good, but it has this notorious saying where something that happens on Twitter months and months ago is going to resurface, and then it gets even fucking bigger and it blows up, right? And I hope maybe January of next year, somebody's gonna be like, oh, read this funny thing. Could this be you? And then she's like, oh fuck, it is me.
Yeah.
It got picked up by the relationship Twitter account, which we all follow, right?
Yes.
So that's a very popular account.
It is.
I bet
she already follows that account. If
She's gonna find it.
She's gonna find it. You can't hide shit. You can't hide shit on the fucking internet. You can't.
This is gonna make its way to her.
Relationships on Twitter has literally 426.6 thousand followers.
Almost 500,000. Like,
she follows this account.
She fucking follows this.
And
account.
if she doesn't, the reach is already there. It doesn't matter. So.
Oh yeah, somebody on her timeline has fucking liked it or something.
You know, if we can offer any advice from this, it wouldn't be to people like this because he's not going to take it. It'd be to anybody else. Literally, fucking support your significant other and their stupid fucking hobbies and the things they enjoy. Like,
and if you can't,
then
if you actually can't, then you need to let them go and find somebody who will.
Because why can't you?
Like, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing.
It depends. It depends on the hobby, I think.
But there's nothing worse than
no one's being hurt.
You shouldn't be jealous over your fucking significant others. Anything really, but like their success or whatever, unless they're doing it and that's a weird detrimental way to you, and it's like, oh well, you know, like she's going to these fucking events and like won't take me along, or you know, like some weird shit. Or, you get into this shit like that, but like realistically, it's like it's a hobby she's enjoying. You should fucking be supporting her. You should be her fucking #1 fan. Like it's not that big of a deal, dude. Like
I did see
big deal at all.
I did see in a post that he replied. He said that the closest he can get to describing it is that it's anti-comedy, which, bro.
So it's like real drab,
like dark
maybe.
Humor?
Yeah.
My guess is like maybe drab, like just like.
It's either that or it's like what is it called? Like self not detrimental.
I know what
you know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh, self-depreciating?
Yeah, like that. Deprecating.
Or maybe
self-deprecating.
Like non-sequiturs that are very like obvious. Like,
so,
you know.
like, whatever. So that's my relationship.
Wow.
That one really hit home with me in a sense of like I was thinking, man, if I was this girl and I found out after 7 years that he's been like pretending to laugh at my jokes and he doesn't think that I'm funny at all. And on top of that, he's like super jealous of my actual like kind of lucrative like career on Twitter, you know?
Hey.
Like, does he not realize that with a following that big, literally she could get sponsored?
She's getting
like she could make money from this.
And again, this whole idea with like comedy and being so subjective. Like I brought up Drill earlier, and just for those who don't know, Drill is a Twitter account it's really weird humor, but I find a lot of it pretty funny. Like a friend of mine sent me this tweet, and it literally says, this is the whole tweet. My dream uncle would have the calves of an angel and the thighs of a devil. And it's when you say it's so stupid, right? But it's like
it's stupid. I like it.
But it's like that's all the account is like just the weird shit like that. But like I find that funny, but I can also see why a lot of people just wouldn't get it or wouldn't find the humor in it. So it's like, you know, who fucking knows what she's saying, and if it's just like self-deprecating or if it's whatever, but people fucking are enjoying it.
That was the word. I said depreciating.
That's self-depreciating like a fucking house.
Yeah. Your interest rates are really
help me, my value is going down. My value.
I drove off the lot and my entire value went down.
The moment I was born, my value went down.
I mean, I am a woman, so that's true.
Yeah.
No, your value went down the moment they did they found out. They did the ultrasound, like, oh shit.
They're like, it's a girl. She's worth 30 camels.
God.
Like, all right, take what you can get.
Well, finish us off, Sushi. What do you got?
Oh, God. I'll send you off on a trip. My 35 male ex-wife's... oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm not reading the title. Wait, what?
Just read the title without the ages and see what flows better.
Okay. My ex-wife's fiance wants to take my last name as his own when they get married. It rubs me the wrong way, and I'm afraid it may cause an issue if I don't handle it properly. Okay, so my ex-wife's fiance wants to take my last name?
Yeah.
That's...
So they got divorced, she kept the last name, and then now she wants that last name to be on her new husband.
That's weird! Yo, Sam's face.
I'm so like cringe. Like I can feel it in my shoulders.
Okay, I didn't realize. I just skimmed this one. I have to be honest. I just skimmed this one. I didn't realize how weird this was. All right, here we go. Buckle up.
The last name's Smith.
Yeah. Edit. Title should say "Take my last name." Sorry. Okay, there's a couple edits, but I'll get to them. I don't want it to confuse us anymore. Yeah. My ex-wife and I met in college, and I was immediately attracted to her free-spirited nature and sense of adventure because I was very similar at the time. Long story short, we were together for a total of 9 years and married for 7 of those. We ended up having 2 kids during that time, a son 9 and a daughter 7. It's been about 4 years since the divorce was finalized. Honestly, we had a pretty good marriage. However, we both realized as we got older that our visions of how we saw our daily lives wasn't going to mesh. She's just as she always was, attending music festivals, stopping by art shows, or trying some new hobby. I basically became what many might consider the boring one, who kind of just wanted to have nights in cooking or watching movies, doing projects for the house, or reading books with our kids. Neither one of us faults the other for our marriage not working out. As a result, we're on great terms with one another. This has been wonderful for co-parenting. However, there's an issue that has recently popped up that I just don't know how to feel about. My ex is supposed to get married in March to a guy she's been dating for a few years. I'm happy for her. Her marriage isn't the issue. My issue is with their last names. Weird, I know. Please let me explain. When we got married, we went to the traditional route most do when she took my last name. This time around, they, my ex and her fiance, decided that he would like to take her last name because he doesn't like his for some reason. So what's the problem? She never went back to her maiden name after the divorce. The guy wants to take my last name as his own. I know that's kind of silly because anyone can legally change their name to pretty much whatever they want. However, the situation just rubs me the wrong way. I understand that my last name became her last name also from a legal standpoint, but the name is my family surname that she chose to share. It may be worth noting that I did not push her to take my last name in any way. This guy is not part of my family. Let me be clear that I actually really like her fiance. He's a good guy who I have no issue with being around my kids and who I even just like on a personal level from what we've hung out at activities that revolved around the kids. He will be a great stepdad or even a father if they have a kid of their own. But that doesn't change the fact that he isn't part of my family. Additionally, and maybe this sounds petty, but I wouldn't want anyone to assume he's my children's father based on the fact that him and my kids all have the same last name, which is not a common last name. I've talked twice with my ex about this, and each time she's dismissed my feelings regarding it. The first time she basically maintained that it was just a name, but didn't really have a response when I asked why they didn't use her maiden name or just choose a last name they both liked or agreed on if the name didn't matter. The second time, she told me he really likes my last name and doesn't care for his own. This is when I found out why they were going this route. The issue has been running through my mind more and more as their wedding date, current state of the world permitting, approaches. I don't know if I should address this with him also, since we're on friendly terms, talk this over with my ex more, or just let it be and accept it. I don't want this in any way to affect my relationship with my ex, as I feel that as having an issue would be bad for co-parenting reasons. Does anyone here have advice how I should handle this? Is this even reasonable? Even if it isn't entirely logical, for someone in my position to feel the way I do. I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do at the moment. Any input would be appreciated, and let's get into the edits. So edit number 2 is, it has come up a lot that my ex wants to keep the same last name as the kids. This is not the case. She assumed that she would be taking his last name and was fine with that. The fiance is the one who said he didn't want to change her, he doesn't want her to change her last name. He wants her to keep it so they can have my last name. Edit number 3, it also seems worth noting, as it comes up several times, that I did not ask my ex to take my last name or expect it. I was fine with her keeping her own and just hyphenating the kid's last name. She was the one who chose to take my last name because that's what she wanted for herself. I'd have a lot less of an issue with this if I had insisted she take my name and this same situation arose. That's the story.
That is,
So that's a wild one.
So, while it is such a weird situation to be in, I hate to tell him, but it's none of his fucking business. Like, I get that you probably don't have a common last name, but, like, she can literally do whatever the fuck she wants. And so can this dude. Like, it's a weird and, like, out there fucking situation to be in, but you don't get a fucking say.
I think it's more weird that that her fiance wants to take the name of the ex-husband, I guess, because like there's like that whole like obviously like they have kids, they're married, they're always gonna be in each other's lives because of the kids, yeah,
the kids, right?
But it just seems weird to like want to have the same last name as this other person, I guess. Like, I don't know, like this, you would think you'd want to have that distance or that separation as much as you can, given the circumstances. Like, I think that fucking the fiance is probably the weirder part of the whole equation here with like, because she said she doesn't really give a shit. She would change her name or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So like, it's just really weird because I'm like, I can't fathom that. It just seems like a weird choice that someone would want to make, but what a weird situation at the same time. Like,
I hate that people kind of like harped on him like, oh, well, you know, why'd you force her to change her name? He literally never said that in his post, and I hate when Reddit does this shit, but like, this is such a, like, they've been divorced for 4 years, they have a great relationship, but this is a weird hill to die on in the sense of, are you really willing to like jeopardize this good ass relationship for something so fucking dumb? Like, okay, I get it. This dude's not a part of your family, right? And it's your fucking name, and maybe it's not a common name, but like, who gives a fucking shit? Yeah. I don't want anyone to think that because they all have the same name that he's my children's father. But you want him to be a good father, so like, don't.
It's a weird thing because like, I can understand the thought. At the same time, though, I guarantee that anytime they're out together, people are gonna think that that's their dad anyway.
You know, like
it's gonna happen. When I went out with fucking Dad and Kim, people thought that Kim was my mom. You know, because they saw kids with a woman and a man, and they saw, you know, when I went out with Mom and Vincent, they assumed Vincent was my dad. You know, that's just what happens. Like, that's, nobody's asking at the fucking, what's your guys' last name? You know, like nobody's, so that is kind of a, whatever. I can understand, I guess, the mindset of like, yeah, you know, it kind of sucks people thinking that like this other man is the father when, you know, but like, that's just how life is. That's just the breaks. You're never going to escape that. You know, like, that's.
I was first reading it. I had my initial, like, that's totally weird. But as I was reading more details, honestly, I think it's good because it makes the family more blended.
That's what I was going to say.
My first initial reaction was like, that's totally weird. But like, it is weird. It's not traditional. However, I think it's good in the long run because they are a blended family. So let him just change his last name instead of like maybe your kids changing their last names if he adopts them or something.
Well, he wouldn't adopt them because he's the father's still in there. So he literally legally couldn't adopt them anyway, I don't think. But
it's just,
I still think it's a step in the right direction.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't fucking see a problem with it from like a standpoint of you're not the only relationship we have right now is like we have children together, right? Like, you don't get to dictate the other parts of my life. Like, I took your name. Like, I took your name. We had this relationship. And now, and they were married for, what did she say? We were together for 9 years and then married for 7. That's a long fucking time. That's a long fucking time. So she kept the name because, you know, they have kids and like, this is her name now. And I feel like that's none of his business because, like, it seems like I don't know.
It's not about her. It's not about her.
Right.
It's about this other dude.
But like, I don't know if this would be better or worse if like he had a not so close relationship with them as he does. Because he even said, like, even the dude and I have like a good relation. We're on a close, like, you know, we have a good relationship. So if you have a good relationship, then what's the fucking problem? Like, it's weird. Yeah, it is weird. But like,
it's weird. It's not traditional, but I think it's
not
fine.
like bad weird. You know, like it's not like
it's not bad weird.
It's not like a fucked up weird.
Also, they have children, and so like he's probably gonna have to pick them up from school or drop them off. It's easier if he has the same last name as the kids.
It's just, I don't know. I guess it's. I think it's a little weird, but again, I find it weird from the other dude's perspective. Like the wanting to take your soon to be wife's ex's last name. Like that's what I get stuck on. I'm like, that just seems really weird to me. Even if like they have a somewhat decent relationship, it just seems odd. It's like, oh, I'm taking the ex's last name. Like, but like, I don't know. It's a very weird topic because overall, like, there's some things like, you know, go past like what, like we all logically deduce as, is it pointless or not? Or, you know, should this be upset somebody or not? And I feel like sometimes people can't just help being upset by something like this. Like if he's upset by it, he's upset by it, and his feelings aren't invalid because we're fucking going, oh, well, it shouldn't matter, but it matters to him for a reason. There's some sort of reason there. And a lot of times, like when it comes to like people figuring out why something bothers them, like they have to they're tracking down some sort of either insecurity or something. There's always a reason for it, whether he knows or not. And he seems logical enough that maybe he would want to know the reason, but he also might not know it himself why it bothers him. Like truly anyway, because like, again, we can all point out, is it really that big of a deal? Well, it is to him, but it's not to anybody else. So there's something there, but like, I don't know. It's just a weird, messy situation. Like ultimately though, like Sam said, like, it's not his choice to make. It's not his life, you know, like, you know, hate to break it to you, but most people in this world, you know, don't have, like, my last name is pretty unique, but I do know there are other people in this world that have my last name that aren't related to me. That's a thing, you know? Like,
sure.
So this whole idea of like, oh, it's like, so like, I mean, yeah, but there are other branches or whatever of that same last name, and they're not related to people at all.
My thing is like, what if he thought that this name wasn't like, what if he thought this name was uncommon, right? But then she found somebody and she wanted to marry somebody who had his same last name. Would he still be like upset? You know what I mean? Like, oh, she's still going to keep the same last name because he is also a fucking Smith, Johnson, Jonestown or whatever the heck.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's less about his name being unique and more about the fact that it's his last name and it's weirding him out.
Yeah. I mean, I know that. I'm just saying, like,
it's a weird one for sure.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any good advice?
Yeah, were there any comments on that? Like,
a lot of people just saying it is weird, but it's gonna make it look like your children are his children. I think that's his biggest concern. They look like a family unit, and you are an uncle. Besides getting manipulative, there's basically not much you can do. There isn't really. You can't do anything about it. It just be like that, you know. It's a weird situation, but you can't do anything about it.
And that's the thing is, like, honestly, you know, he was like, you know, should I talk to the guy about it since we have a close relationship? That's honestly, you got to weigh the pros and cons on that. You can literally come to this dude if you have like that good relationship and be like, this makes me a little uncomfortable, right? But there's gonna be one or two things that happen. He's either gonna be like, you know what? You're right. I had to hear it from you before I realized that this was super weird and I don't want to, you know, make other people uncomfortable or whatever, right? We'll think of something else. Or he's going to be like, well, that's none of your fucking business. And now our relationship is strained. And now you have an ex-wife and a new husband who are now like, you know, passive aggressive and shit. Now you have a bummed relationship.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pros and cons on this, so is it fucking worth it? Honestly,
that's just a decision he's gonna have to make.
He's gonna have to make that decision.
And again, like if he has that, it also depends on how he goes about it. If he goes to this dude and he states his concerns as a normal conversation. If he comes at him fucking antagonistically, yeah, it could lead to fucking something bad. But if you can keep a level head, I'm like, listen, honestly, this kind of weirds me out a little bit. Like, you know, like. who knows? So, like maybe that's a conversation they can have if as long as it doesn't come about like, you better not fucking do this. Cause then the guy's like, well, fuck, I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But,
matter of fact, it's my last name and my middle name now.
I'm changing all 3 of my names to your last
It's
name.
all 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's Smith.
Smithy, Smick, McSmith. Like, Smithy, McSmith.
And then I'm going to have kids with her, and I'm going to say that they're full-blooded related to your kids. And
Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, that's a rough one. I don't know.
I don't know. Besides making it well known, I guess. Honestly, I don't think there's really much you can do besides making it known.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think it's that big of a deal to like potentially like lose a good standing relationship with your ex-wife and your children. I don't think it's worth it.
Sure,
to be angry about it.
That's for damn sure. But in general, it's just really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Especially when you're entrusting the care of your children with this man. I just think.
We also don't know, like, who knows what kind of court settlement they have. Who knows, like, just because you have a falling out.
And the children live with the mother, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to be living with him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's just one of those things, like, just because, like, they have an argument, like, in that same light, like, again, while we argue with the whole, like, oh, yeah, he shouldn't control that life or whatever, or he can still say what the fuck he wants. She can't control his life either, but, like saying, you don't get to voice his opinions because of whatever. He can fucking say what he wants. She can hate him for it, but, like, if she tries to take the kids away and all that, that's a whole other fucking thing, Like, because, like, you can't play, like, one side and he only gets to say what he wants, but she can't have her opinions and all this. It's like, he could say it because he's not tied to her besides the kids. So he can have this opinion. Who cares if he fucking severs the relationship with her? What's she gonna do? Like, fucking, if the courts have decided how the kids go.
I see where you're going with this, but my point was literally just he has a good relationship. He likes the way it is, I know.
But that's why I also think that, like, bringing it up, I don't think she would immediately be like, fuck you, and we're never talking again.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they have a good relationship, she knows this dude for 16 years. So, like,
yeah.
It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but again, I think fucking talking is the only thing, but I really don't think there's much of a solution.
A great opportunity to make jokes out of this. Like, oh yeah, she just married my cousin, kept it in the family, Like, that shit's funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're missing an excellent opportunity for jokes.
See, this is the kind of comedy that other girl needs on her Twitter.
Yeah. I gotta find that girl and get her on the podcast.
We have to find her, and I bet she's hysterical.
She might be.
And I bet it's someone that we follow.
I bet she's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I bet she's so funny. 30,000 people couldn't be wrong. Oh, and it's more than 30,000 people.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening to us ramble on about these. We had some fucking weird stories. Like, they were all very, very traditional stories this time. Like, they were all very different stories. So, like, this was a fun one.
And none of mine were weird.
And none of them were,
that puppet guy.
None of them were all that weird. And that doesn't really count because that's always weird. It's misconnections. So.
The puppet maker with type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, he's out there. He's out there. Fucking X-Files theme, please. But we will
get DMCA'd. We're thinking about it.
We will catch you all next Monday for another mini-sode. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you Monday. Goodbye.
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 Oh yeah, wear masks. Black Lives Matter.
Fucking hell.
Yes.
I can't say vote because by the time this comes out, we'll already know what happened. So
yeah.
Good luck with the future, whatever it happens to be. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.